Hi everyone, Ray here. On this video, we are going to talk about the tender offer of MPI or Metro Pacific Investments Corporation. First of all, what is a tender offer? It is a bid to purchase a shareholder's stock in a corporation. Basically, an invitation of a company to sell their shares at a specified price for a limited amount of time. The price is usually higher compared to the current market price, and shareholders or investors of that company may choose to either accept the offer and sell their shares or decline and retain their ownership.
Now, last April, MPI announced that a consortium will conduct a tender offer of 4.63 pesos per share. If you're a shareholder of MPI stocks, you should have received the same email. There were several complaints to this offer though, since it was too low. But basically, ang sinasabi nila dito is that they are giving us a heads up that MPI plans to delist from the Philippine Stock Exchange. And when or if the tender offer gets approved, we have the option to subscribe to their offer. Last June, an annual stakeholders meeting on MPI was conducted, and on August, another special stockholders meeting and tender offer agenda was discussed.
This resulted to the company eventually increasing their tender offer to 5.20 pesos per share. If 95% of the investors accept the tender offer, then madidelist yung company. But if not, their tender offer will be pulled out and they would keep their shares trading in the market. The reason for this delisting is that MPI is pushing through their plans to take the company private. Delisting in the PSEI or the Philippine Stock Exchange doesn't mean that the company is closing. It just means that they will no longer offer their shares to the public. So this tender offer is the price that they are offering the public investors in order to buy their shares of the company. Ever since I started investing in the stock market, this is my second company na ininvestan ko that delisted. The first one was way back in 2019. Nag-invest ako kay Resorts World Manila. So it was in the PSEI before as RWM. And in 2019, nagpa-delist siya. So fortunately, the tender offer was higher than my average price. So kinuha ko din yung offer and I ended up earning profits pa din. So this is one of the risks you should consider when you are investing in the stock market. No matter how fundamentally sound the company is, delisting is still possible. And that would be unfortunate if nag-invest ka dun sa company na yon and you bought their shares at a higher price compared to the current market price nung magpapadelist sila or higher than their tender offer.
To show one example, let's take a look at the MPI chart. As you can see here, the current price is 5.05 pesos per share. Now, kung bumili ka nung, let's say, August 2018 here at 5.43 pesos per share, and you sell it right now, you would have lost profit here. Okay, now their tender offer is 5.20. Still, if you get their tender offer, meron pa ring losses because bumili ka nga at 5.45, right? Or 5.46, tapos ibebenta mo siya ng 5.20. So you have a few options. You could sell now at 5.5, get the tender offer na 5.20, or if by any chance you would think na before the tender offer deadline, which is September 1, is tataas pa yung market price to higher than the price na binili mo siya, then it's possible to sell your shares nun, possible na kumita ka pa. So that's just one of the risks that you need to consider when investing in the stock market. When I bought my MPI shares, actually dito ko siya binili around 4.1 pesos. So I actually opted to get the tender offer because it is currently higher than the market price. So I just opted to get the 5.20. Again, it's still up to you. In order to get the tender offer, as you can see here on my portfolio, my average price is 4.1832 pesos per share. And ito, ayan, current price is 5.05. Okay? So, nag-gain naman ako ng 19.64% with the 5.05 price. But if I sell it at 5.20, of course, mas mataas siya. Now, how do you get the tender offer? On your dashboard, meron kayong makikita dito. So, just click that, tender offer, MPI. And then, you can see the tender offer price, 5.20 per share. Offer period is from August 9, 2023 to September 1, 2023 until 12 o'clock noon. Target cross date is September 15 and settlement date is September 19. Okay? So some things to take note of. Once MPI becomes delisted, the shares will no longer be traded on the PSE, which could affect your ability to liquidate your investment. So that would happen if hindi ka mag-decide to either get the tender offer or not get the tender offer. Mas mahirap kasi kung hindi ka mag-decide because you would already own the listed shares and it will be subject to 15% capital gains tax and documentary stamp tax, which are substantially higher than the stock transaction tax. And if COL does not receive your response by the deadline, COL will tender your shares on your behalf since the company plans to delist from the PSE. Okay? So, makikita nyo dito yung tender offer report. Okay, ito siya. Pwede nyo siyang i-review. And things what you should do if there is a tender offer. Okay, so makikita nyo dito that there are 3 options. So, similar siya sa sinabi ko earlier. Just to reiterate, option 1 is to accept the offer. This is best if the tender offer price is high. So, currently, my average market price is 4.1 and mas mataas yung tender offer sa market price ko, kaya it's a good option for me to accept the offer. So, shares will be debited from your COL account and it will be sold at the tender offer price. After the tender offer period, yung money na pinangbili ko would return to my account. Okay? It will appear here. Option 2 is to decline. So, this is if you want to keep your shares. So, the shares will remain in your COL account and you have 2 scenarios. The stock will continue to trade kasi nga, for example, hindi 95% ang kumuha ng tender offer. Scenario 2, stock will be delisted. So, you need to submit requirements and fees to convert shares into physical stock certificates. Kasi, pag natuloy na ma-delist yung stock, you will be owning private shares already. And medyo mas complicated kasi yun. And like I said earlier, taxes would be higher. Okay? Option 3 is to trade in the market. So this is the best option if the market price is higher than the tender offer price. But as we've seen earlier, the market price is lower than the tender offer price. Kasi market is 5.05 lang and tender is 5.20. Okay? So, if you choose the option 3, it's up to you kung kailan mo isa-sell yung shares mo. Okay, balik tayo dito. In order to accept the tender offer or not accept the tender offer, click natin to. Click this and yan. You should place here the number of shares that you'd like to sell and then click nyo lang calculate offer value. So, 6,000 yung shares ko times 5.20. 6,000 times 5.20 is 31,200. So, the offer amount is 31,200. Click cash settlement. And then, submit offer. If you want to accept the tender offer and do not tender if you don't want to accept the tender offer. Okay, so dito tayo sa submit offer. And yan, your tender for the following stock has been recorded. And then just click this to view your tender offer. Yan.
So again, it's up to you to decide what you want to do with your shares. This applies to all companies that would like to delist and would make a tender offer. I hope you learned something on this video in order to know how to sell your shares in COL Financial or withdraw your funds. Do check these videos out. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell in order to be notified on more videos similar to these. Thank you. Bye!